Good morning and welcome to Friday Morning Dharma on November 8th, we think. Um, yes, thumbs up. We got it right. The 8th. Thank you. Thank you, Barb. Let's go ahead and settle into a comfortable meditation posture. Please take care to ensure that your spine is straight and relaxed. We're facing straight ahead with our head tilted slightly forward. And this serves to bring our spine perfectly into alignment. Our mouth is closed, our jaw is relaxed. And if you haven't already done so, please go ahead and softly close your eyes. And to begin, I'd like you to please gently bring your awareness to the exhalation of your breath. And allow your exhalation to be just a bit longer and a bit more pronounced than your inhalation. Please feel free to experiment with pausing briefly at the bottom of each exhalation. This meditation technique will allow both your physical body and your mind to start to settle and to rest, to become quiet and still. Now, now is not the time to reflect on events that have occurred in the past. Those events cannot be changed, undone, or recreated. Nor is this the time to speculate about events that may or may not occur in the future. The future is unknown to us. Now is the time to be fully present here in this moment. Now is the time to give yourself full permission to enjoy engaging in a practice that's going to bring you a peaceful state of mind, while at the same time contributing to the creation of a peaceful world. And with that, I'd like you to please bring your awareness to the muscles in your face, the muscles that support your eyebrows, all of the tiny muscles that support your eyeballs, the muscles in your cheeks. Please allow all of these muscle sets to become soft and completely relaxed. So much so that it might feel as though the pores of your skin are opening up now. Please allow the tiny muscles that support your jaw to become soft and relaxed. Just allow any tension that you might be carrying in your jaw to dissipate, to drain away completely. to dissolve into empty space, to dissolve into space like emptiness. Your jaw may start to feel a bit heavier now, and it takes a gentle and deliberate effort to keep your jaw from dropping open. And your mind starts to relax as your body is starting to relax. And throughout our meditation this morning, I would invite you to bring your awareness not only to the words that you hear, but also to the silent gaps in between the words and in between the sentences. The muscles, the muscles in your chest become soft and relaxed, and your lungs are now able to perform perfectly and without effort their natural function of breathing. The muscles in your abdomen, and likewise all of the muscles in your back, all of the muscles that support your shoulder blades and your spine. Allow these muscle sets to settle and to rest, to become soft and relaxed as you drop deeper and deeper on down. And let yourself go. The muscles in your hips and your pelvic area become soft and relaxed, as well as the muscles in your legs, knees, calves, ankles, feet, and toes. One by one, these muscle sets become completely soft and completely relaxed. The soles of your feet, even the muscles and nerves in the soles of your feet, even the tiny muscles and nerves at the tips of your toes become soft now and completely relaxed. Your body is like a mountain with consciousness, balanced, grounded, stable, with ancient wisdom awareness. Your mind relaxes completely now as your body is completely relaxed. And let yourself go. And continue to be aware of the silent gaps. I'd like you now, I'd like you now to please draw your awareness inside of your body in toward the region of your chest. And in the region of your chest, within your inner body, is the true essence of who you are, your tsewa, or your warm heartedness, your tender heartedness, your infinite capacity for kindness and tender heartedness. Please simply allow your awareness to rest in the region of your chest. No doing is required. Nothing needs to be added. All that is asked of you is to rest, relax, and be aware of your tsewa in the region of your chest. Now, now, while keeping at least part of your awareness connected to your sewa, please redirect your awareness. Become aware again of your physical body and allow your breathing to become less shallow. Taking deeper and deeper breaths, become aware again of the garments of clothing resting on the surface of physical body. Become aware again of the room in which you're located. Become aware again of your surrounding outside of the room that you're occupying. Become aware again of clouds, of blue sky beyond the clouds, of outer space beyond the blue sky. We dedicate all of the merit, all of the positive energy from this morning's meditation and Dharma talk to world peace. May leaders of countries who are at odds with one another soon come to recognize that nothing is accomplished with minds of anger. Instead, may they resolve their differences with minds of empathy, compassion, patient acceptance, and wisdom. And may we as individuals make the greatest contribution we can to world peace by resolving differences with others in our own lives using minds of empathy, compassion, patient acceptance, and wisdom. Completely fill up your belly and lungs with air, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes and bring your meditation to an end. Welcome back. So, I have had a busy kind of meditation leading slash teaching schedule over the course of the week. Um, we had our Monday class here, of course. And then Tuesday, election Tuesday, I spoke and led a meditation at the Rotary Club here in town in Silver City. Wednesday, we had our first Wednesday, the Wednesday after Election Day. That was a series of classes that I'd scheduled and offered over the last 4 months. So that was Wednesday, day before yesterday, and then here we are on Friday morning. So leading meditation for different groups with different inclinations and different levels of experience. And I can share with you all, offer suggestions for you all that I can't offer to those other groups, you know? And that's kind of a lead in for me to tell you that I'm going to impart some tough love with regard to not the election results, but your perception of the election results. And all of this assumes that the people in this room, the people on this Zoom call, and the people who might listen to this recording on our YouTube channel are troubled and discouraged by the results of the presidential election that took place on Tuesday. Um, it's nonpartisan. These suggestions are nonpartisan, and they can apply to anybody, regardless of whether they are happy or unhappy with the results. The these comments are going to be designed mostly for those of us who are unhappy with the results. And to the extent that you are experiencing discouragement over the results of Tuesday's election, you might be confused into thinking that the source of your discouragement is the result of the election. Like, I know in these Dharma classes, you're on your best existential behavior. But when you're out living your life and interacting with others and perhaps commiserating with others, you might be saying, why am I unhappy? Why am I afraid? Why am I grieving? Why am I despairing? These are words that I'm hearing a lot. And by the way, just before I offer something, let me just ask you. I should have started out with this. I want you to try to remember going forward in your life. I want you to try to remember what you felt on on Wednesday, after you knew the results of the presidential election. If you're experiencing despair, I want you to remember, like, burn that into your consciousness, because the power of the feelings that you had about the election on Wednesday morning, or maybe it was late Tuesday night, I don't know. Those feelings are going to fade. Yeah. Those feelings are going to fade, and you're going to become more familiar with the situation, right? You're going to be more familiar with what transpired, and you're going to, I think, become more comfortable with them, with the results of the election. Yeah. It's a force of familiarity, which we talk about all the time. You're going to become more familiar with them, and therefore you're going to become, dare I use the word, complacent. Yeah. And, at some level, that's not a problem. That's not a problem. Feeling better is, okay. What's okay with that? I want you to remember the despair and the fear that you felt whenever you learned the results vividly, please. And I want you to use that memory of those feelings to motivate you in your spiritual practice, in your spiritual work. Remember it. Remember those feelings, and let those feelings keep you going forward and dedicating yourself to the only thing that can really produce lasting healing and wisdom and growth, and that is spiritual practice. And I don't care what path you're on, it's the only way, right? So, back to our confused state of confused, like the source of our despair, the source of our troubled feelings in whatever form they take. When we're not on our existential behavior, we think, oh, it's the results of the presidential election that it's making me feel bad, that's making me feel frightened, fearful, despairing. No, it's not the result. This is like Buddhism 101, okay? It's not the election that's making the election results that are making you feel bad. It's your perception of the election results that's making you feel bad. You know? Same as it ever was. You know? How do we know this? How do we know that it's the perception of my mind that's creating the problems here? Because there are a lot of people who are happy with the results of the election. You know, they've got a different perception, and therefore they're happy with the results, or at least okay with the results. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. It's like, oh, they don't understand. The people who are happy with the results, they don't understand because, whatever. I don't need to go down that path too far because I know you know. I know you probably have had these thoughts. They don't understand. They don't really see the president-elect for who he really is. Yes, they do. They absolutely do. Donald Trump, he's very authentic about who he is and what he represents, very transparent. I think the people who voted for him are very clear on who they're getting. Yeah. So your thinking mind might try to rationalize and say, oh, they don't really understand. They do. Look homeward, angels. Look homeward, angels, at your perception of the election results. That's what's causing you your mental pain. And that's why I want you to double down in your practice of training the mind. More tough love. When you were going through and processing the results of the election on Tuesday, Sharon gets a pass on this because before this morning, she didn't know what the word sewa means. But when you were despairing and frightened and upset in whatever form it took, how many times did your mind go to sewa, to your tenderheartedness, this place of refuge, the true essence of who you are, your birthright? How many times was that your default? Don't answer that, please. Last thing I want to say before we close is that there is a saying that I have. This is really important. Okay. There's a saying that I have, and it is that the time to acquire tools is when you don't need them. The time to acquire tools, and I'm talking about personal wellness, mental health, spiritual tools. The time to acquire tools is when you don't need them. If you have a leaky roof on your house, right? You know that your roof leaks, you know it needs to be repaired. A hurricane comes, it's like, oh, geez, I need to get together some tools and repair the roof. You know, that's not the time to repair your roof. It's too late. Yeah. So it is with acquiring tools in our personal life. Please take this to heart, you guys. Very wise, learned, spiritual teachers like Eckhart Tolle. Well, we talk about them all the time about practices, practices of training the mind that will protect you from suffering. Okay. A few of them: patient acceptance, wisdom realizing impermanence, yeah, being present in the now, being present in the now, in the present moment, right? Something happens if we're not practicing being present in the moment. Then when it comes down to crunch time, like an election, the results of which we're very, very distressed about, it's hard to be, it's impossible to be in the present moment, resting in the peace of the now if we hadn't been practicing it before, right? We know this. If you tried any of your training the mind tools, like when you were, in a state of despair over the election results, like, well, maybe but maybe you have been practicing them. If you've been practicing them and that you got relief, good. Good on you. That's how this thing works. We become so familiar. We become so familiar with these practices and these states of mind that it's easy for us to go to them. Somebody that I was talking to, a Sangha friend, used the analogy of a martial artist. Like, martial artists learns all sorts of blocks and parries, they're called, and punches and stuff. And they do them over and over and over and over. And then when they're attacked, just naturally, they can do it without even thinking about it. That's where we need to get with these practices of training the mind. If we haven't been practicing the parries and the blocks and somebody attacks us, we're vulnerable. We forget to do it. We're incapable of doing it. So it is with practices of training the mind and meditating. That's why we meditate, to doing over. That's our version of parrying and blocking and counterpunching. Yeah. We do it over and over and over so that when we get into a moment of danger and crisis, it naturally defaults. I go to the now, I stay in the now, and I experience peace, or wisdom realizing impermanence, or patient acceptance, or sewa, being in our heart of sewa, whatever it is. So Wednesday wasn't the time to start practicing to Wednesday wasn't the time for us to go to these practices in our moment of despair as a result of the Tuesday elections. The moment we were to have been going to those practices were 4 years ago, right? Now, that's kind of the bad news. The good news is that now that you know, now that you know this, now is the time to prepare for the 2028 elections. Yeah, to prepare your mind every day, many times a day, and skip the election of 2028 for next week, or next month, for next year, whatever may arise, political or not. Now is the time to go for refuge to these practices and not worldly sources of refuge. The time to acquire tools is when you do not need them. Please take that into your heart and practice the Dharma, practice the teachings of Christ, Eckhart Tolle, whatever your path is, practice them, take refuge in them so you can default to them like the martial artist. It just comes up naturally and you're at peace and you're protected. Okay. 9:06. Thanks for hanging in there with me a little bit over. Hang in there, you guys. Go for true sources of refuge, please. I'm begging you. Thank you.
Good stuff, Jeff. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. That was really a good
Reminder, maybe. You're welcome, Teta. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.